It's Thursday, September 9th, and the time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Officials of the National Union of Public Workers and the Queen Elizabeth Hospital are scheduled to meet for talks over a dispute involving 4 unionized security guards. At the heart of the issue is what the NUPW has described as the whimsical termination of the guards who were on probation, and union officials are hoping for a swift resolution on the matter. Emmanuel Joseph has more.
Acting General Secretary Wayne Warren said on Wednesday that his team will be meeting with the QEH management Thursday at 4 p.m. to seek a settlement to the issue and would be demanding the immediate reinstatement of the security officers pending the outcome of the talks.
They are not happy that the process is free and transparent in terms of using the probationary clause to terminate their services. They are seeing, in terms of performance, the appraisal system should be applied in a developmental and objective way and not to be a punitive and subjective tool. In other words, if you come on probation, one would expect that if there are any shortfalls, you would be given necessary support and remedial action. And then over for extended period of time, I guess, with a fair and transparent process, you'll be fully aware if you fall short of the situation.
He also viewed as puzzling the way in which the security team was being treated when compared to the civilian staff at the hospital. The union boss said the impression being conveyed to the security officers is that the arrangement is more like a military-style process.
We want their reinstatement. All right, and then let us discuss it, not and come to some satisfactory resolution, but we're not happy that he dismisses were above board and fair and transparent. We think it is. To me, it's whimsical, right? Yeah, we understand you're on probation and you could be subject to, during that period, the employer could take action, but it doesn't mean that you don't want employees who are hired after going through a rigorous recruitment process and competing, then to feel that they're really terminated on grounds that are not reasonable or just or transparent. So this is really the problem is.
When Barbados Today reached out to Chief Operations Officer of the QEH, Louise Bob, she declined to comment, stating instead that management wanted first to meet with the union on the way forward before speaking publicly on the matter. I'm Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
There's a recommendation for COVID-19 testing to be removed from the Grantley Adams International Airport in a bid to address the delay of results and slow processing of visitors. It comes on the heels of more flights arriving in the country and the continued rise in positive COVID-19 cases locally, resulting in more contact tracing as well as increasing delays in results being returned. It has also resulted in some visitors spending more to stay in quarantine and some missing their flights. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Senator Rudy Grant, in acknowledging a backlog in COVID-19 test results for visitors, revealed that at a recent meeting with Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Senator Lisa Cummins, the recommendation was to move the testing from the airport to other facilities.
One of the things we have been talking about is moving the testing from out of the airport. Of course, members are very aware that there are a number of outstanding test results. We would have been working throughout the weekend in order to try to deal with some of those issues with respect to persons having outstanding test results. The recommendation really is to look at moving the testing out of the airport. There has been discussion about facilitating testing at hotels. Presently, there is the Best dos Santos lab, there is the Crane lab, and there's a third lab coming in operation very soon. That's Bayview, and the expectation also is that there may very well be a fourth lab. So the processing of the passengers at Grantley Adams International Airport is important. If we are able to have that technological solution, as Minister Cummins has communicated, working well, then we should be able to see a better processing, but we should also, with the testing being moved from the airport, be able to guarantee a better experience.
Opposition Senator Caswell Franklin has strongly opposed any suggestion to preserve Glendairy Prison. During debate in the Senate on a resolution to vest the former Glendairy Prison's property in the Barbados Tourism Investment Inc. for tourism development, Franklin insisted that the prison's history was nothing to either celebrate or preserve, and he called for government to demolish the structure, which he described as a national embarrassment.
Well-intentioned people who think that we must preserve everything colonial, and anytime you put two blocks together on top of one another, and it happened before independence, oh, we got to celebrate it, and we got to call it a national treasure, and we got to do all kinds of things with it. Glendale Prison was not a national treasure, it was a national embarrassment. Our people, whether you like it or not, whether they committed crimes or not, should not have been treated in the way they were. That's why it was burnt. Because nobody listened to the cries of those people, and they had to get rid of it. So they found the only way that they could have got rid of it was to burn it. Because it was a place of torture. It was and I'm not talking about actual physical torture, where people had to exist in those conditions. And we now want to celebrate that. And we're going to build it, raise it to the ground. When you finish with that project, something should emerge like a phoenix of the ashes that has no connection to Glendairy Prison.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
The news from the region. Countries in Latin America and the Caribbean are being urged to prioritize COVID-19 vaccination for expectant and lactating mothers. It's coming from the Pan American Health Organization's director, Dr. Caricia Etienne, amid concerns over the serious risk of the virus to women who fall in that category. She made the plea during the organization's weekly press conference on Wednesday.
We know that if pregnant women become infected, they have a higher risk of developing serious COVID symptoms and more frequently require ventilation and intensive care as compared to women who are not pregnant. They also have a higher chance of delivering their baby early or prematurely. Yet the pandemic had a significant impact on the availability of prenatal care and other essential services. At least 40% of the countries in our region have reported disruptions to maternal and newborn care. And these disruptions have become more widespread during this second year of the pandemic. Some countries like Belize and Guatemala report that pregnancy-related care has been disrupted in over half of health sites.
And finally, the World Health Organization's chief, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, has made yet another call for a global moratorium on booster COVID-19 vaccine doses.
A month ago, I called for a global moratorium on booster doses at least until the end of September, to prioritize vaccinating the most at-risk people around the world who are yet to receive their first dose. There has been little change in the global situation since then. So today, I'm calling for an extension of the moratorium until at least the end of the year, to enable every country to vaccinate at least 40% of its population.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.